Shalom and welcome back to Old Soul Torah. This is a special Chanukah edition. We're going to be talking about the mystical significance of Chanukah in a moment, but it's actually going to get deeper than that. So put on your seatbelts because we're going to go on a journey tonight. Let's begin with a Kabbalistic concept called the Or Ein Sof. The Or Ein Sof means the endless light or the infinite light. This is the original emanation of God from which all of creation unfolds. And this original emanation of light from God is all the worlds are created from it, and it is said to contain very potent spiritual powers, revelation, prophecy, healing, etc. Except there's one very important aspect of it, and that is that it is hidden. So it's also referred to at times as Or HaGanuz. It is hidden for a reason, it is concealed for a reason, and that is because it would overwhelm the creation if it was very transparent, if it was very visible. It would just overwhelm, the light would overwhelm the physical creation and it would shatter it. So, it comes in small doses, in small quantities, and it says that the Kabbalah teaches there are 36, remember this number, there are 36 channels by which it is transmitted into the world. So every time the number 36 appears in the Torah, whether it's the written or oral tradition, the 36 is a channel. These are 36 transmission lines by which this hidden or concealed light becomes manifest in this world. So what's interesting about it is this concept first appears with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Between the time that they were created and the time they sinned, our oral tradition says there was 36 hours by which they bathed themselves in this primordial light. This primordial light or this infinite or eternal light. Likewise, on Chanukah, we light candles every night for 8 days. But if you were to count the amount of candles or the amount of oil lamps you light on day 1, plus day 2, plus day 3, all the way to day 8, there is a total of 36 candles. The Kabbalists say that the lighting of Hanukkah candles is a way of downloading the primordial light of creation. The 36 candles on the menorah corresponds to the 36 hours when Adam and Eve were bathed in the primordial light of creation. Today, as we kindle our own lights, we call forth a revelation of this now hidden and intense light. Our tradition also says that aside from Chanukah and the downloading of this light into our homes, into our lives, and into our universe, this light will be revealed in the end of days, meaning when this current chapter of human history is over and the new day begins and more of this hidden primordial light will be revealed. In the meantime, the Midrash says that every time we study Torah, we reveal a little bit more of this light. And that is the secret of Israel, my friends. That is the secret. If you want to know one of the secrets of Israel is that through the study of Torah and the 70 levels of its meaning not just the surface of the text, but the pnimiut, the inside, the inner Torah is revealed through the commentaries and through the learning, that we reveal more of this light into the world. So with no further ado, let us continue with our study and let us remember the number of 36, because that is a signature, that is the siman, that is the sign that some of this primordial light is being revealed. Okay, so let's just begin with God's name. God's name let's look at the Semitic languages. Hebrew is a Semitic language, so is Arabic, and so is Aramaic. So in Hebrew, God's name is Elohim. In Arabic, it's Allah, and in Aramaic, it's Elaha or Allaha, depends on the dialect, what part of the region you're from. But these are the three languages. If you look at monotheism or the Western religions today, each one of them took on a different language, right? Nevertheless, if you go to the root of the divine name in any language, it goes back to a three-letter Hebrew root, which is Aleph, Lamed, and Hey, right? And this three-letter Hebrew root, the numerical value, if you add up the letters, Aleph is 1, Lamed is 30, and Hey is 5, and you get a sum total of 36. Let's go a little step further. Let's go to the Torah itself. The word Or, the word light, in one way or another is mentioned exactly 36 times throughout the entire 5 books of Moses. Let's go a little further to Moses himself. Our tradition says that it was exactly 36 days that it took for Moshe to reveal the Torah to Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel. We also learned that Moses was born 36 years exactly after the oppression of Egypt, or the slavery, began. And so this is where it gets interesting, is when Moses was born, it says the woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw how beautiful he was, the word beautiful in Hebrew, it's not exactly beautiful, it's kitov. Vatera oto kitov, and she saw that he is good. Kitov means he is good. What does this resemble? It resembles the verse in Genesis when God also saw the light was good. What he created, what came from him was light, and it's the same exact phrase, kitov, and it was good. So the Kabbalah says that it was Moses' mother. What was she commenting on exactly that was good upon the birth of Moses, was that when he was born, a light filled his room. And it was the same light as the primordial light that we find in the verse of Genesis, the original, let there be light. So the Kabbalists teach us that when the Torah uses the word tov, good, as in the birth of Moses, and when God said, let there be light, and then he saw that the light was good, that the word tov, or good, is a code word for this primordial light, this infinite light. And if you look at the first time it's mentioned in the Genesis text, we see a very, very unusual feature in the letter tet, the first letter of the word tov, good. We see that the letter tet, like many other letters in the Torah scroll, have these tiny little crowns that extend from their top, which, by the way, the Kabbalists teach is a hidden language of its own. But what's unusual about this letter here is that it has 4 crowns instead of the usual 3. And according to the Bnei Yisachar, a Kabbalist, he says when the 4 of these crowns, the 4 crowns are to be multiplied by the letter that it's crowning, the letter tet, which has a numerical value of 9, then the 4 times 9 is the 36, and that is the sod level, the secret level of what the word tov is. So now we get to our patriarch Isaac Yitzchak Avinu, who is the first person in history to be circumcised at 8 days old. the first person in the covenant of Israel officially. And as you know, 8 is 1 above 7. 7 represents the complete world, the physical world. 8 represents infinity, that which transcends the physical world, the natural world. So Isaac, symbolically speaking, Isaac was already connected. From the time he had his circumcision, he was already connected to that covenant with eternity, and it was a theme throughout his entire life. So much so that when Abraham, the famous story about Abraham sacrificing his son Isaac, or binding him to be sacrificed, Isaac, contrary to popular opinion, which shows Isaac as a little innocent child when this happened, that is not true. Isaac was 37 years old when this happened. According to our oral tradition, Yitzchak, Isaac, was a very willing and enthusiastic participant, consciously willing to go through with the act because it would be his wedding day with eternity. There's nothing more than he wanted was to attach himself to the infinite realm. It says that even though he didn't die during the sacrifice, his soul left his body, according to the Kabbalistic traditions. And that's why when he had to come back into his body, he didn't completely come back into his body. Part of him came back. Now this is alluded to in the text where it says Isaac was blind. If you remember, it says that his eyes grew dim with age. Now when he was attached to the upper realm is beyond duality. And it is beyond duality, meaning there's no good and bad, good and evil, and that's why he was blind, so to speak, to his sons, to his twin sons Esau and Jacob. He wasn't able to see the faults or the shortcomings in his son Esau because he was functioning from a realm of unity and non-duality. And for you to see the good and evil, that's part of the earthly realm. So he had already relinquished his earthly identity in a sense, and he was functioning from that higher realm. What was that higher realm? It was the primordial light, being connected to it before the fall. It was only after the fall of the Garden of Eden that when we ate from the tree of knowledge, which is also the tree of good and evil, it is only afterwards that we entered the world of duality. Now we go to the next generation. After Yitzchak, Isaac, we have his son Yaakov. We have Jacob, and we're going to talk about the connection between 36 and Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. So one of the things that we learned, very interestingly enough, from the time Jacob left his family, remember his brother was pursuing him and he had to go on the run. From the time he left home and he returned with his family was exactly 36 years. Where did he go during this time? He met Rachel and Leah. So Rachel, interestingly enough, is the one he fell in love with first. But it was through Leah that the tribes of Israel came into the world, meaning Leah had most of the children. All the very important tribes came through Leah, including the tribe of Judah, where the house of David and the messianic line comes from Leah. So basically, Leah is considered the real mother of Israel. Rachel only had 2 children, Joseph and Benjamin. And if you take Leah's name, Lamed, Aleph, Hey, Lamed 30, Aleph 1, Hey 5, and we have 36 through the name of Leah. Now, what about Rachel? How is she connected to the number 36? Well, she had Joseph as a son, and she had Benjamin. While they were crossing through Bethlehem, she gave birth to Benjamin, and she died while giving birth at the age of 36. Every tribe had a certain part of Israel, part of the land that was allotted to them. Benjamin got Jerusalem. The holiest vortex for downloading primordial light was in the territory of Binyamin, Benjamin. And this is where the Hanukkah miracle took place. And we already explained that Hanukkah is the downloading of this primordial light, this infinite light. And it happened in Jerusalem. Not only did it happen in Jerusalem, but Hanukkah took place in the temple, and not just in the temple, but in the Holy of Holies. And this is all coming from Benjamin. And Benjamin, his mother was like Isaac, she was a very willing participant to depart these earthly garments and reconnect to the heavenly realm at age 36. One other significant detail about Jerusalem is the very place where the Hanukkah miracle took place was Temple Mount, the very same place Isaac, after completing 36 complete years of his life, remember, he was willing to give his life on the very place where the Hanukkah miracle took place, Temple Mount in Jerusalem. And the Hanukkah miracle took place exactly in the 36th generation from when the Jewish calendar begins. Now, we also have in the Jewish tradition this idea of the Lamed Vav Tzadikim, the 36 hidden righteous people or hidden saints of every generation. It's an idea that in every generation there are hidden souls who each carry a spark of this primordial light. Each of them carry part of this light, but they may or may not even know that they're the ones who embody it. And these are the channels by which divine love and kindness and compassion and righteousness comes into the world, and the world is sustained by these 36 righteous people. And our oral tradition says, if not for these Lamed Vav Tzadikim, if not for these souls that embody this primordial light, then the generation could be wiped out. And then finally we come to the generation of Ari HaKadosh, the Holy Ari. He's a master Kabbalist. No other Kabbalist in Jewish history had reached the profound levels that he had, that where he can acquire the type of insight and understanding of the complexities and the metaphysics of existence like the Ari HaKadosh. The Holy Lion was his nickname. And he remained hidden for most of his life. Just like the righteous are hidden and they're embodying the hidden light, the Or HaGanuz, the Ari remained hidden for most of his life until his Magid, the Magid is like your angelic teacher, revealed to him that the time has come that you can start finally teaching the hidden Torah so that it'll become revealed, implying that now is the time to open up and reveal the secret teachings. This revelation came to him at the age of 36. That's when he began teaching, and he revealed so much in a very short span of time, 2 years, that he died after 2 years. In the Jewish mystical tradition, numbers can be seen as archetypes representing fundamental concepts and universal patterns that exist in various aspects of the human experience. What has been demonstrated in today's class is a string of instances throughout Jewish history where the number 36 has held symbolic and mystical significance. 36 represents the bridge where the finite and infinite realm meet. It is the realm of the mystical, transcendental, and miraculous all coming together. During Hanukkah, we are reminded of this aspect through the 36 candles that we light. We are reminded that we are all in the process of learning and training ourselves to reach these higher rungs of consciousness. Indeed, the Hanukkah lights serve as an antenna for this higher light to illuminate our homes and families. With every day of Hanukkah that passes, the light gets increasingly stronger. We place our lit candles in the window as a beacon to all passerby, to remind the world that darkness can indeed be dispelled, obscurity can be illuminated, and that it is God's light that will prevail in the end. May the up and coming year be a new journey of discovery for all of us. And may we jump with all of our hearts and beings and souls into the evolutionary unknown, holding our candles of faith and common love for each other. Until next week, stay blessed, stay safe, and shalom.